Morning, guys. Hope you're all relaxed and happy and enjoying your holidays. If you are on holiday, if you're at work, then I hope you're enjoying a nice break. Here's a crazy 5-minute blitz game that I played this morning. I'm over 1500 now in blitz, so my blitz and my rapid are actually quite close, only like 20 points apart. Anyway, and this one contains a spectacular puzzle for you, which I'm pleased to say I didn't solve. Okay, so we have e4, d5. So this is the Scandinavian. Okay, now what I do is I play into the Blackmar gambit from the Scandi. This is my anti-Scandi thing. Traditionally, you get the Blackmar or Blackmar Dima gambit from d4, d5, and then e4. But I'm an e4 player, so this is my way in. And I was expecting my opponent to capture the pawn on e4. Right? Opponent does not capture the pawn on e4. Now entering into a French, but which I was like there in bed on my iPad going, what is this construction? I don't recognize it. Yeah, it's the French. I could have played a Dima Dum gambit with c4. I could have, but I didn't. Right? So I advance. So this is now a French advance. Okay. And now we have a6 from black. The only reason for that, I think, is to prevent bishop e5, but I don't know. Okay, so I bring out my knight. And now we kind of, this is kind of normal French, a typical break, like in the Caro-Kann. In the Caro-Kann, you normally play, well, you do play c6 and then very often follow with c5. In the French, c5 and f6 or f5 are the most common pawn breaks. I just respond with c3, shoring up the center. We trade. Knight comes down, and now apparently it's transposed into a Sicilian defense, O'Kelly Venice system, as I'm sure everybody knew. Sorry, I went a bit fine gold there. I apologize. It won't happen again. Okay, so bishop e2. Which is not uncommon in French defences. I don't want to block off the queen's defence of this knight, for starters. Okay, and because black might play the queen out here and so on. They come out with a check. I play knight c3 to block. We have knight ge7, and I castle. So far, right, you're going, Hunty. Why are you wasting my time with all of this? But wait. We have knight g6. Again, very typical French move. Is my opponent a French player? I don't know. Anyway, so now I move my bishop a second time, hitting the knight. Knight retreats, and I decide to kick this guy. Bishop retreats, and knight to b4. Okay, bishop retreats again. And b4. Okay. So what's the point of this? I was thinking maybe I want to install my knight here on kind of an outpost, right? Now, if bishop wants to stop itself off, I've then got options of pawns, right? But bishop takes this pawn. Oh no, my pawn. Remember I said earlier on I didn't want to block the queen's defense of that pawn? I blocked it. What can I do? Right? Now, I take and takes. We're very close. I now hit the knight. Okay? And so I'm a pawn down. Knight retreats to c6. And here we pause and we go. Pause the video. Figure out the winning move for white. I will have a sip of my coffee. Now, I have to say, I found the winning move, but I didn't find why it was winning. Okay, so it's very tempting here. I mean, you'll eye up this b6 square, okay, and you could stick your knight in there with a fork. Oh, look, a fork, right? You could stick your bishop in there and harass the queen. I decided, after a little thought, how much thought? 10 seconds. I decided to stick my bishop, not that one. That's the wrong colour bishop, right? and harass the queen. The queen then is forced to move here. And then I'm like, oh, hello. Oops. Yeah, knight c5. Knight c5 and the queen is trapped. Right, this is not the case here. This is an innocuous move and a balanced game, right? So the queen is trapped. My opponent now decides to grab a pawn with his knight, loses his queen, grabs the bishop, and here, in between move, right, I could have captured the knight straight away, but I thought, because if I, like, look from here, I take knight, he takes knight, right? I'm still going to be +4, okay? But what's the point? Or I take knight, bishop takes knight, black goes on to castle and hunker down and try and survive. And we've got 3.5 minutes each. So I thought, well, knight here with check, mess up his pawns, then take back, you see, could be better for me, because it's going to make castling harder, so there we go. Then he takes this pawn in the middle, right? Now, I'm only +3. I'm up a queen for 1 knight and 3 pawns. Okay, so I play rook fe1, targeting that pawn, he pushes forward, I slide over, just half eyeing up this rook on h8, and I'm like, nothing to see here. Bishop goes there, I win the rook, and the game is completely lost, because the next moves I think are forced. There, queen takes there with check, and then the king has to go here, and he's going to lose his rook. So it's going to be mate in 7 or 8 moves, whichever way you look at it. Well, I thought that was really interesting, and well done if you solved the problem, the puzzle in the middle of all of that. But yeah, very satisfying win. Quite enjoying my 5-minute blitz at the moment, and I'm kind of feeling like I'm using my time a bit better, if you know what I mean. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed that. Thanks for watching. See you soon.